Trinidad and Tobago, welcome to Dependency. I am Garth.
And I'm Natasha. This morning we are putting out a very simple but important question. Have you ever thought of becoming a mentor?
Today's show is about what happens when adults step in, show up, and work alongside young people who need guidance, structure, and belief.
We are joined in studio by Samantha Griffith, who's the project lead, along with Celeste Ferreira, who's the program coordinator for the Me to We Mentorship Programme of the Volunteer Center of Trinidad and Tobago.
Me to We has been quietly changing lives since 2020. And today we'll be talking about impact, lessons learned, and how you can handle and get involved.
Yes, and I am very excited actually to have this conversation today, given my own experience with volunteering. For those who don't already know, this is something I'm very proud of, so allow me to brag a little bit. I was one of the first national UN volunteers in Trinidad and Tobago. This was in 2000, and in 2001 was the International Year of Volunteers, and incidentally, that is coming back around again. 2026 will be another year for volunteers as designated by the UN. And during my time as a NUNV, I learned a lot, obviously, about volunteerism, and I was, in that sense, placed with an NGO, which was the Caribbean Network for Integrated Rural Development. So I was working on environmental issues. And I was part of the cohort of volunteers that revived the International Coastal Cleanup, which is an annual event that records debris and rubbish found in our waterways and oceans. So that part of my life was a significant one in that it taught me a lot about the importance of volunteerism and how it contributes to the development of a nation. So that now that we have a volunteer center of Trinidad and Tobago, I bet you didn't know that we have one. We have a volunteer center which matches volunteers who are willing to give of their time and their service to individuals and organizations who they can assist with their mission and vision. So apart from, we're going to learn today about the Volunteer Center of Trinidad and Tobago, what it does and what it has done since its establishment, and as well, more importantly, the Me to We Mentorship Programme, which is a part of the Volunteer Center, was a program of the Volunteer Center.
Well, I have a different perspective with regard to, from the military perspective, we were told never to volunteer for anything. and that's real.
Wow.
But but that has to do with the military. Is a lot of explaining to do when that is concerned. But that is, that's when I grew up hearing in the military. However, with regard to these ladies here this morning, I must let you know that a number of people reached out to us when they heard the promo, about becoming a volunteer. And I honestly didn't expect that type of response, taking into consideration the programming we do, but then having a conversation we all offer, you all reach out to at-risk youth as well. And we have a lot of at-risk youth in our country right now because there is an influx of what we call the creepy marijuana. And let me explain for people listening out there who want to understand why all of a sudden your son hearing voices or your daughter hearing voices and they becoming aggressive. And I'm speaking about youth. Now, some people, let's say the percentage of THC in marijuana now normally goes from like 10%, 30%, but on top of that, it's 20% more THC being added to marijuana now. So you have some marijuana now almost mimicking alcohol. It's 75% THC. Now that is crazy because what can happen is that somebody using it for the first time can really mess with them bad, and they don't know that. So apart from speaking about this here this morning, there are a number of guidelines and warnings that we have to issue to you before we leave here today. Around this time, people let their guard down in many ways. And remind me to tell you of an experience I had in West Beach car park just a couple of days ago. It was scary. I never thought I would have actually run into something like that, but it happened. And it's real because I've seen it on social media many times. But you see these things and you never think that it will happen to you one day. As the old people say, what don't meet you and pass you. And it happened to me. Apart from which, this week, we received 2 phone calls again for help with youngsters on their way to St. Anne's Mental Institution. Trinidad and Tobago, this is not a joke. When we started our Dependency 24 years ago, it was for this very reason. Because I went down a road as a youngster, as someone in service to Trinidad and Tobago, making the wrong choice, and ended up where I ended up. It was bad then. It's worse now. And the journey here for the last 24 years was to warn you all, and especially for you to get your children to understand that the people who selling these products now, they're worse than before. I know men who stopped selling cocaine after they saw what it was doing to their community and neighborhood. They stopped. But then there are those who choose to do it. We don't know why, but they're doing it. The thing is, would you or your children purchase it? That's totally up to you. So today, Samantha and Celeste, good morning to you ladies.
Good morning.
And thank you for your patience hearing me rant here this morning, but it's a serious thing. And Trinidad and Tobago, we have to start looking out for each other. I'm even asking the fellows who selling the drugs to at least not sell it to young people. And if we could have a national effort like that, maybe we save a few of them. But I am telling you, it is bad and it's going to get worse because everybody's coming up with a way to strengthen the drug that they're selling. We're going to take a break. Natasha, anything to add to that before we go to a break?
No, just to reinforce the sentiment that it really is an issue that all of us, especially those of us who are adults, need to take account of and do our best, do our part to help young people build the confidence and the self-reliance and the self-esteem
Yes.
to resist the pressures that they are faced with.
Yes. Yes. Well said. That peer pressure out there is real. And everybody wants to fit in, or most people want to fit in. And I am telling you now, if you have a crew that's dealing in these types of products, then that's not your crew. And you need to walk away, be strong enough, but it starts from home, with the parents, the first mentor. It starts with you. You're stupid just like your father, you're dotish just like your father, you're dunce just like your father, you're among to nothing just like your father. You preparing that child for peer pressure. You presenting your child to someone else. You need to stop saying that to your child. And stop misdirecting your anger on your child so that they grow up with low self-esteem, because that is where it starts. That first mentor. So we go to a break, and when we return, we will speak as the year comes to a close. Let's see if we can bring something positive out of this engagement this morning and get some of you out there to put your hands up and say, I want to be a mentor. After you listen to these young ladies here this morning. You're listening to Dependency. We're going to take a break and come back. Stay right there.
an Alta story.
Before Alta, I was so nervous, never understand a lot of things. Alta is a nice place to learn. Like if any student in this program made a mistake, or the other students will turn and help out that student.
In Alta for a long while, I'm not lying. In Alta, jump out, I come, it challenging, it was hard, but I fight still. I started to feel nice, I started to feel sweet about myself.
I really know writing skill was terrible. In within a year time, I do that level 1, I completed. What? That was like a dream.
The teachers are very wonderful, which is one thing I love. The next thing I love about it, it's free.
You can't study what persons may think, the perception of person. So you have to focus on what you want.
I am enjoying every moment in Alta.
Today now, I can read, I can write, I can spell, get into Alta, so you can write your story.
708-1990.
The Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service Hotline 800 PRSN. It's a toll-free number that anyone can call to report any misconduct or illegal activities within the prison service. All calls are strictly confidential and would remain anonymous. Simply dial 800 PRSN. That's 800-7776. Leave a message and our team of highly trained professionals will treat with your report in a timely manner, promoting security, integrity, public safety, and confidentiality.
Join us this Sunday for episode 50 of Eye on Dependency, reality radio at its best.
There's a change in the air. There's a longing in your stare.
Have you ever thought about becoming a mentor and changing a young person's life? This Sunday on Eye on Dependency, we're putting out a call for action for volunteers ready to step up. We're featuring the We Mentorship Programme of the Volunteer Center of Trinidad and Tobago, a proven initiative that's been transforming students since 2020 with support from the King's Trust International. In studio, Samantha Griffith, project lead, and Celeste Ferreira, program coordinator, will share how the program supports students facing real psychosocial challenges, builds civic awareness, and helps young people discover their gifts. Listen live this Sunday from 10 a.m. on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. If you ever wanted to give back in a meaningful way, this show is for you. The Counter-Trafficking Unit, Ministry of Homeland Security brings you Eye on Dependency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency, and today we are talking about volunteerism and mentorship as a means of volunteerism. So we again welcome Celeste and Samantha from the Volunteer Center. Please tell us first about the Volunteer Center. Where did it start, and what programs have you all been involved in apart from Me2We?
Me2We? Okay, good morning to you and your viewers, and thank you for having us on this morning. The Volunteer Center is really focused in terms of, as the name says, volunteerism. It's an NGO and helping in terms of persons build that civic consciousness. They were involved in terms of an initiative with Eastport Spain as well, looking at in terms of building a community resilient on sustainable development. So food growth, food production, and the Me2We mentorship is one of their flagship programs. The founder is Ms. Giselle Mendez, and she's been doing some really great work in terms of a new volunteer space. And I'm so happy, Natasha, you shared that, because we're preaching to the choir, and
yes,
to hear that, you have been a volunteer before, because we need more of that. We need to bring back in terms of persons, giving back, building back Trinidad and Tobago with that type of positivity.
Indeed. So, Celeste, tell us about the Me2We mentorship program.
Sure, no problem. So I am going to give you an overview of the program. So this program was first launched in 2020. It is a collaborative effort between Volunteer Center, I'll say VCTT, for the rest of the program, right? So it is a partnership between VCTT and King's Trust International. And the objectives of the program is to reduce the psychosocial challenges of mentees. So that is more emotional issues like anxiety, anger, treat with family problems, and things that arise out of that. The next aim is to increase the civic consciousness of mentors and mentees, which is increased volunteerism. So it is the volunteer center. So we like to, we support our mentors on their volunteer journey by providing them with a meaningful experience and helping them build their skills. And then we also encourage our mentees when they receive support to pay it back and, become volunteers in the future. And then our third goal is to awaken and explore the mentees' gifts. This has to do with career planning, helping them discover their talents, because we realize from working with the mentees, we realize a huge issue that is a result of all the things they are facing is that they don't have any direction. They have no career goals. They don't know what they want to do. They finish school and they get lost. They might end up with the wrong crowd, but we really want to push them in the direction of education, because we know that is something that can save you. Knowledge is power. So our mentors support our mentees in that regard. Our target group, so we partner with 8 different schools. Every year we have actually been able to increase the amount of schools that we partner with, and so I think that is definitely one of the things we can boast about, that every year we have been able to increase our capacity. The 8 schools we partner with is Mount Hope Sec, Goodwood Secondary, so Tobago, Samoa North, Russell Latipi, Cedrus Secondary, Toko Secondary, Shogunas South, Mugrapo West. And we target youth who are 13 to 17 years, so that's Form 1 to Form 5. And these youths are actually referred to the program. We approach the schools and we let them know about the program, and we ask them who would most benefit from this. So who are the youths that outside of this program will not have access to this type of opportunity, and who are the youths that are most at risk that need this type of intervention, and the school refers them to us. So I know that was a lot of details.
But let's break it down a little bit
Sure.
more. You said the program started in 2020.
Yes.
Was that deliberate? Because that was, of course, when we had the lockdowns for COVID. So that must have been a very challenging endeavor to get it started in that period.
So it wasn't deliberate. It was actually a bit of a coincidence. So to give you some background on the program, before COVID, King's Trust International would have come to Trinidad to carry out an assessment of the landscape to confirm what are the key priorities and needs of young people in this country. And mentorship was identified as very high on the list due to the challenges they saw, which is things like bullying, depression, school dropouts. So at that time, VCCT would have pulled together a steering committee of professionals. So we have like youth development specialists, safeguarding specialists, psychologists, the full works. And this steering committee would have developed this program. And it just so happened COVID came right after, and so it was formulated to be an online program, which actually helps us in a bit of a way, because these schools are all literally every corner of Trinidad and Tobago. But even though these sessions are online, we are making so many efforts to do in-person events. We make sure to have at minimum one per term where mentors and mentees could come meet each other in person. And so one of our goals for the next cycle is to actually increase that in-person interaction.
All right, so let's go back to the beginning. Now, if I'm listening on the radio or looking at you here, first, a lot of things will be going through my mind. First of all, are you all headquartered? You'll have a headquarters?
No, we don't have a headquarters. So everything we do, it's virtually.
Right,
Yes.
because if I'm saying, this is something I could get involved in.
Yes.
But where do I start, first of all, and then how do you physically, and then there are people who will ask the question, okay, King's Trust said they want to be part of this, and right. So which means then, would you as well be providing basic stuff that a child or a parent cannot afford to buy? Let's that because you do it online as well. So if my child doesn't have a laptop, or if I cannot, how am I going to do this? I guess you'll explain all of that, right? Because again, and the mentors and the volunteers, do they meet at a certain time? And so we have lots of questions, right? So, so how does the mentorship process work in practice, and how are mentors and mentees matched, and what kinds of activities are they involved in? So,
Let me take part. Yeah. So I'll take part of that question. So the first part, in terms of, I want to go back to King's Trust as well, and really big up King's Trust International, because it is an NGO of King Charles, and they have programs throughout the Commonwealth. Our programs manager for Trinidad and Jamaica, Sidel Ramkisoon, is very supportive, and he is based in terms of in Trinidad, so locally.
Sidel, that name sounds
Used to work at the British High Commission.
Yes.
Yes, we're familiar with him.
Right, so Sidel is, in terms of the programs manager, and King's Trust is a major partner. Through King's Trust, we are funded in terms of from Proman, so they have that partnership, and the program is funded by Proman, and some
who
of
is this? Sorry,
Proman.
Proman. Could you explain
Yes.
Proman?
Proman is involved in a lot of things in terms of energy sector, various industries. I think they are linked in terms of to persons in Germany as well, organizations in Germany. It's not just Trinidad or locally based. Proman
Right, so
is
this is the one they
internationally
sell
based.
waka and all these things?
I'm not too sure in terms of the
To me, like I
delve in
saw
that, but
that
I know they're at a high level
advertised on TV.
national
Project management, engineering, and construction.
Yeah, in terms of energy. So they are our main in terms of donor to the program, and as it relates to how the program in terms of how it's rolled out. So we first engaged with Ministry of Education. We've expanded as well to Police Youth Club. So we have 3 that we're looking at for this cycle: St. Joseph Police Youth Club, Whiteland Police Youth Club, as well as Roxborough Police Youth Club. So we have in terms of that expansion in Tobago as well. And we start in terms of with that partnership with Ministry, as well as THA, Division of Education, and now the youth clubs get the names. Once the students are submitted to us, we engage the parents. The parents then in terms of say yes or no, because of course it is a program where we want children to want to come on, not to be forced to come on. So we engage the parents as well as the students. We conduct a needs assessment. At that stage of that needs assessment, we get in terms of things, be it physical items that are needed or psychosocial interventions that may be needed as we move along in terms of that our program and matching with our mentors. We have this call for mentors going on, which is running simultaneously to that call for students. Those mentors are based in terms of in terms of industry or profession, be it if it's education, social work, even in terms of a mechanic, because we know in terms of persons who have in terms of that formal education or even informal education have something to give back. They, in terms of, we have a rigorous screening process. Celeste will talk more of that in terms of with our safeguarding team. And from there, the mentors and mentees are matched based on the needs assessment conducted, developing a student profile, and looking at in terms of our mentors and what they bring to the table. So what are their interest areas? Do they align with some of the students on the program? For last year's cycle, we had somebody interested in PR, so we aligned them with somebody in terms of in communication, and things like that. And we match them not only based on be it gender or sex, but in terms of interest areas, and those in terms of mentors who could be a little more supportive to persons who may be a little more at risk. And I'll hand over to Celeste, because she is critically involved in that coordinating of those areas.
Right. Before you do that, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking to Celeste and Samantha from the Volunteer Center of Trinidad and Tobago. 2 questions. Are mentors screened? I mean, to the hilt, because this, for some people, this could be hunting in the zoo for some people. All right. I don't know if you've ever had that experience before, but sometimes some people can slip through the cracks. So first we have to start with how are mentors selected and screened, to ensure that they only want a mentor
Right.
in a positive way.
So, kicking that over to Celeste.
So I'll tell you a bit about that. Now let me start off by saying safeguarding is the cornerstone of everything we do. No process, no task, no project, nothing happens without safeguarding guiding it. We have a safeguarding committee that guides every single step of the way. And as I said, the safeguarding committee is a subcommittee of the steering committee. So the safeguarding committee is like psychologists, social workers.
But for some people, safeguarding is a relatively recent term, and I don't think it's well known in Trinidad and Tobago. Could you explain what safeguarding really means?
All right, for us, what the program looks like, safeguarding looks at the conduct as well as the interactions between mentors, mentees, and that's psychosocial. So when you say psychosocial, in terms of looking at issues such as self-esteem, suicide, ideations, things like that, and protection of both our mentees, mentors, and any stakeholder that interacts with our program. So from there as well, we have strict codes of conduct that they sign on to. We have a training session in terms of for safeguarding for all mentors that is required, and also signatories to particular codes of conduct that was developed in collaboration with King's Trust International Safeguarding Team as well. As Celeste was saying, our safeguarding team comprises of psychologists, psychosocial educational persons, social workers, youth development specialists, and an administrative team that looks at from start to finish that interaction or who we bring onto the program. So there's a strict vetting process. You also have to submit a certificate of character, references. You're interviewed. So it's not just, okay, you're interested and we say, yes, bring you onto the program, or you're referred by somebody. No, there's a strict in terms of from the start, the processes that you have to fill out, verifications of particular things that you say in the interview as well, through in terms of those reference checks. And finally, training, a mandatory training for all mentors who come onto the program. And that is, as Celeste was saying, managed by our safeguarding team. And any safeguarding issues that come on, and luckily we haven't had any, as Garth was referring to, those issues where, a wolf in sheep clothing come into the program.
Yes.
But we have measures in place because mentors do check-ins as well as our sessions, which are virtual, monitored, be it through recordings because we have a mentorship platform, or by ourselves in terms of the safeguarding team who does check-ins while the mentorship is that those one-on-one sessions are going on.
Yes, that is very important. So for the layperson who is trying to understand what we mean by when we say safeguarding, essentially it is trying to protect both the mentee, that is the young person, and the mentor from any abuse, any grooming, any activities or any activity or language or actions that may be construed as being harmful to the mentee, because it's young people we're dealing with. Some people say, I really like to work with young people, but we have to ensure, and I'm glad that all of these steps are being taken, and this process is pretty rigorous. We have to ensure that young people, above all, are protected.
Grooming.
Yes.
Grooming is a very serious topic that we discuss here from time to time with regard to human trafficking and all of that, right? And these mentors are allowed to be alone with their mentee at any time. They go, let's say, a mentor decides, well, you remind me of my son, or you remind me of my daughter, and take them. They want to take them to the mall. They want to carry them out to, carry them to church, and all these different things. How is that? Because I'm still putting it together in my mind. And for the person listening out there, and for those of you listening and interested, maybe you can write down your question as well, whatever we might have missed, so that you can ask, because the target group, I guess, would be retirees for being mentors, or who. Don't look at me so shocked. Because
It was always only retired. No.
All right, so because there are people who will be asking, there are people who retired right now and still want to be active and want to get involved, right?
But we want everyone,
So,
but Celeste will take.
Okay, to answer your two questions, I will start with the target group is not retirees. To be an anchor mentor, the requirement is that you should be 25 years and over. You
Right.
should have some sort of experience working with youth, even if it is informal, and you should have some sort of previous volunteer experience. A lot of the program, we support mentors with training, but we do need to know, and this is why we have the safeguarding process and the screening and everything. We need to know that you will be a positive influence to these youths. So interest and also availability to commit, these are some of the key things we look for. So 25 and older, you can be an anchor mentor. If you are under 25 or you don't have the time to fully commit to meeting with a mentee every week, you can be an additional mentor, which is where you provide additional support. It might be administrative, it might be to help us at one of our events. So our target audience is pretty wide. If you are a retiree and you would like to volunteer, sure, you would still be subject to the same interview and screening process to determine what your contribution will be and to ensure it's a meaningful contribution. The next question you had asked is if how we manage mentor-mentee interactions, and because these mentees are underage, the age range is 13 to 17 years. Mentors and mentees are not allowed to exchange numbers. They are not allowed to go out together. So my primary role as the program coordinator is to facilitate the coordination of sessions between mentors and mentees, to facilitate any communication that has to take place. We have to take this approach. I know it's, it limits the interaction to solely your online process, but for the sake of safeguarding, we need to do this. And then also, coming down to the end of the program, the mentor, one of the things we do is we help the mentee to find another mentor, because unfortunately, due to safeguarding, we cannot allow persons to exchange numbers, as I would have mentioned before, and so you have a 1-year interaction with this person, and this is something we have to manage to just make sure everything is safe on our end, because as I said, safeguarding is the cornerstone of this program.
I thought this would be a simple exercise, but I have real questions.
And just to add to what Celeste said as well, all our in-person interactions with the girls group sessions are managed by the steering committee. So from the transportation of mentees, in terms of the engagement with their parents, permissions from their parents, and the locations that we choose is managed by the steering committee to ensure in terms of that safe interaction as well.
So before we go again, you steering committee, or is it, so then you have a list of people that you can share who are else involved in this mentorship program, right?
Yeah, on the steering committee.
Because again, let's go back. So all right, I listen to you all. I want to be a mentor. Where do I start?
So I am going to give you a number that you can WhatsApp. If you WhatsApp the number, I will send you the form to fill out. The form has a lot of information, and then you can also ask questions.
Could you
on
send it to
WhatsApp,
Natasha
right?
so that we can...
So
I'm going to type it in as well.
Yeah. So the number is 753-7628. And then, other than that, our social media, the information is posted on our social media, which is Volunteer Center TT.
Yep.
That's on Facebook and Instagram. You can get the form directly, but if you want to talk with somebody, if WhatsApp is easier, you can send a WhatsApp message, and we will get back to you.
Yeah, and I hope you don't mind the questions, because we live in a strange time now, and we have to be very careful. And, regardless to how some people might feel about dependency, we have done a lot of work here on behalf of Trinidad, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So if we have you here in studio with us this morning, we want to make sure that at the end of this, people out there are comfortable that we've done the right thing by having you here this morning. And so understand
Yeah,
that,
yeah, of
you
course.
go through a little interrogation.
We
yeah.
believe in transparency.
Yes.
So we are here to be open and honest about our processes because safeguarding is a word that comes up in every single conversation we have.
Yes.
So
Can't be
we are
too
firm
careful.
believers in that, and we want anyone who associates with us to be like that as well.
And someone is asking on YouTube, actually, are there measures in place to protect the mentees from further contact with mentors when the program has elapsed? Because you just mentioned the mentors have a specific time period that they're allowed to mentor this particular mentee. So, I guess not being able to exchange numbers and being able to contact them without that intervention it helps. But for some reason, if a mentor wants to contact a mentee after their time has elapsed, how would you treat
So
that?
I would say primarily through awareness. To get a message across, you have to constantly reinforce it. So we constantly reinforce to mentors and mentees, this is something you are not allowed to do.
Yes.
We let parents know this is something you're not allowed to do. Mentors sign a contract. This is something you're not allowed to do. So and another way we support as well is part of the curriculum, coming down to the final stages when that relationship has to close. A lot of times, it is sad to say goodbye, but it is part of life. But the mentors support the mentee in identifying somebody in their community who they can transition to. So the first thing we do is we make it very clear to everybody involved, this is not allowed. And I think after that, if it happens, we have to trust that somebody will say this is not allowed. A parent, a mentor, a mentee will say, I'm sorry, this is not allowed, I'm breaking my contract, I will be held liable for this if somebody finds out about it. So I would say primarily through awareness and reinforcement.
And at the end of if you want to make contact, meaning, share other information or resources, because that happens, because as our age range is, some persons are in Form 5. So sometimes in terms of career development and talking to the mentor, they want some further, assistance. They go through in terms of our steering committee, either myself or Celeste, who would then forward or refer the information to them, vet it and refer the information to them.
All right, if you're just joining us to listen to Dependency, let's take a break, and when we return, Celeste and Samantha have some more questions to answer. Lots of questions. Because I'm trying to paint an entire picture in my head, a portrait, that when we're done here, everyone listening will understand how this works. And who else, is involved in this mentorship program. And so we're going to go there, and to make things clear in your mind, this is something that you should be involved in. Because one thing I would like to know is, when you gather all the mentors and mentees, do you bring them into one place and introduce them to each other? And then another question would be, if a mentee is having a problem at home, then should he call you to get onto the mentor, or should I, because I cannot make contact with the mentor directly, right?
Those are good questions.
You have questions to answer.
Looking forward to discussing them.
Let's go to a break, and we'll return with Samantha and Celeste right here on Dependency. Stay right here.
My name is Ronald Lester, and my story is an altar story. There are things I cannot do. So, like the other day, I had a challenge when I go to the bank. They give me a form and they just give me the pen and the paper, and it's like, I should, and if you don't know how to read and write and spell and thing, you will have trouble from the beginning. You just feel that type of way, frightened, embarrassed, scared. But right now, the teachers are very wonderful. The volunteer teachers, the tutors are very wonderful. They help us. You could come to them anytime. You could call them and have a conversation with them, and they will be willing to relate to you, which is one thing I love about the altar class. And the next thing I love about it's free. And I want to go and do a little computer course and thing after to learn to use computers and stuff, because we're in the age of that right now. So you have to up yourself from where I was to where I am now. I'm so proud of my own self.
Are you 16 and over? Your story can be an altar story. Free spelling and reading classes. Sign up at Nalis Libraries Wednesday, 3rd September, or call 708.
Hello?
Hi, this is Patricia Kent from HMP London. Can I speak to Miss Sheila, please?
This is Miss Sheila.
Hi, I've got an important call for you. Please hold the line.
Mommy, it's Sherry. Oh God, Sherry, we looking for you all the time. 3 weeks now. Where you going?
Mommy, according to Talia, I get locked up. I had drugs in my luggage and I'm in England right now. In jail.
Oh God, Sherry, what? What you do? How you reach there? Oh God, how we gonna go?
Oh God, Mommy, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. It'll be alright. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Eye on Dependency. Reality radio at its best every Sunday on I-95.5 FM. Don't miss.
The Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service Hotline 800 PRSN. It's a toll-free number that anyone can call to report any misconduct or illegal activities within the prison service. All calls are strictly confidential and would remain anonymous. Simply dial 800 PRSN. That's 800-7776. Leave a message and our team of highly trained professionals will treat with your report in a timely manner, promoting security, integrity, public safety, and confidentiality. Do your part.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency, and we are speaking with Celeste and Samantha, who are the coordinators of the We Mentorship Programme of the Volunteer Center of Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, we have had a lot of questions, and we kind of focused a lot on the safeguarding issues, because from our perspective at Eye on Dependency, we are obviously very concerned about young people and their protection and welfare, because we know they are a vulnerable group. So having the We Mentorship Programme and talking about adults offering or providing that mentorship to young people is we have to make clear that the safety concerns are being addressed, and I think y'all have managed to do a pretty good job at
Thank
that.
you.
But I want to talk now a little bit more about, before we get back to God's question, about the activities that are involved in this program. What exactly, we know that a lot of it takes place online, but what exactly is happening between the mentee and the mentor during this program?
Well, I'll take part in Celeste. I'll kick it over to Celeste. So we have mainly that one-to-one model in terms of virtual mentorship, where they, of course, discuss those three main areas. It is guided by a curriculum as well. Okay. So the curriculum is not a hard curriculum like in school where you have to use this curriculum. The curriculum provides the mentor with a guide in terms of building rapport, having persons to open up, exploring or managing those psychosocial issues, and then how they can make those referrals, as well as exploring that self-development journey where they want to go, career-wise, otherwise, talents, etc. Yes. So that's one-to-one. The many-to-one is that model that was actually derived from a US-based model, where we have mentors and mentees coming together. So those are the sessions that are supervised by our steering committee in person, and we have external facilitators. The MAD company is one of our external facilitators. I'm sure some persons know about the MAD. Yes. He's really good, and Darren Sandy, really good. Yes. Those are our two main facilitators that run through in terms of those parts of the curriculum, with the mentor and mentee in that type of role play, as well as scenario situation based. We also have our steering committee who do in terms of some sensitization on some of the issues, and I'll kick over part of this now to Celeste to continue if I didn't cover everything.
If the question was the different elements of the program, right? Yeah. So aside from what Sam said, the one-to-one, the many-to-one, we also would have personal development sessions. Every cohort is different, so if there is one need that seems more prominent in a particular cohort, we will organize something to suit that, a personal development session.
What might that look like? What are some of the issues?
What are some of the issues?
Yeah.
Well, one that came up a lot in the last cycle was school dropouts. Anger management, bullying, conflict resolution, Yeah.
Okay.
Self-esteem building.
Self-esteem, yes.
In terms of, how to communicate with your peers as well as with other, in terms of, parents, etc. So those are the main focuses. We also have partnerships recently that we would have formed with other stakeholders to refer persons after the program. Yesterday we had one with Crowded Room where they looked at some personal development initiatives. So we referred some of our students and they get certification. So, we try to, after the program as well, ensure that they keep on the journey and kind of track them. So like case studies, it's good for M&E as well, to see where they are in their journey after the Me2We mentorship.
Okay.
So, all right, so these I don't know if you will touch on the question.
No, not yet. I was just asking about
the
the actual activities and
Right.
curriculum that they use.
So which one you want to take first?
I like the question about what do you do if something very serious comes up in a session.
Okay, like a parent called me yesterday
Mm-hmm.
and told me that they realized their son was acting up.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a party, came back home and almost couldn't remember anything. Now let's say this young man is in the mentorship program.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the parent calling me,
Mm-hmm.
we should get on to the mentor, right? No, how?
Okay, so if there's a session happening between a mentor and a mentee and that information is disclosed to the mentor, that mentor is required to report that to our safeguarding team. So any issue that comes up that it is clear additional intervention is needed, somebody's life is at risk, somebody needs additional support, it is to be reported to the safeguarding team and then further intervention will be provided from there. But our mentors are not expected to provide resources, say, call this friend. No, we handle that. The mentor, your role is to support with the curriculum, talk, guide, but we don't expect you to fix issues. That is reported to our safeguarding committee and we get very hands-on and deal with it from there.
So let's deal with the safeguarding committee.
Mm-hmm.
God, before you ask that question, I just want to add to what Celeste said. Although, as I said, our mentors come from a diverse background. It could be social worker, psychologist, a mechanic, anybody. We don't want to, in terms of course, as a social worker, psychologist, you think you have the skill to do it.
Yeah.
We say that hat you have to take off and you're in the mentor hat.
Yes.
So that's why you refer, and we have a template where you refer with basic information, and the safeguarding committee will then either, if it's an emergency, of course, mandatory reporting to TTPS, or if there's referrals needed for student support services intervention or children's authority. But once it's an emergency involving that we have to mandatory report, we do so through the safeguarding to TTPS, etc.
Right. Now, the safeguarding committee or safeguarding team, how many members are there on this team?
There are 4 members. So we have our safeguarding lead, Irma Bailey. Her background is in psychosocial and child development. We have Christina Joseph, who we recently added a diverse background in terms of youth development, mentorship. She was a part of Heroes Foundation, Children's Authority. We added
She's a psychologist
as well. Yeah. We have Marcus, whose background is in terms of social work and youth development as well, and he runs also a football club with young men. He in terms of that is our social worker, and he's our liaison with those referral agencies. And we have Latoya, who supports the program. She's a UE graduate. And then we have myself and Celeste, also part of the safeguarding team. And we're adding one more person, so I wouldn't reveal her name yet because she's still, but that's the background usually of the safeguarding.
Right. No, the safeguarding team, they employed otherwise, or their job is just to be safeguarding team for the
right.
What the foundation is?
Volunteer Center. That's what VCTT. We'll just
Right, VCTT.
Right. So our safeguard steering committee, essentially, so the main steering committee team, yes, is made up of persons who work otherwise, as well as a volunteer for this Me2We mentorship program. Safeguarding team, same thing. They volunteer using their capacity or their professional capacities to intervene, to lend that assistance and support, and to build out our safeguarding and stay our safeguarding. So they are volunteers as well.
They are available 24/7, or sometimes you would call them, it will go to voicemail, or you send a WhatsApp, you wait for the
But they're not police guard, come on. They're volunteers.
Yes.
So yes, they're on call, but I mean, you have to be reasonable as well with them.
But remember, there are people who would have an immediate need or immediate help for something.
Yes.
And so how is it that they are contacted and if they are readily available? You know, I mean, all
Or
these
have
things
you
is like
had an
having
emergency like that? Have you had to
it's
deal with
having a
anything like that?
suicide hotline.
Yeah.
A suicide hotline don't shut off at 12.
No.
Right? You must have somebody to answer that phone.
Yeah.
You know,
So, okay, it's now we have not had any immediate issue where somebody calls me because they're not allowed to call the mentor and says they want to, commit suicide.
Right.
The process, if the issue comes up, the mentor would complete a form. This is the official, because we have to, as an organization, we have to keep a paper trail, right? But also they would informally tell me, hey, this is going on. Then it would be sent as soon as possible, immediately to the safeguarding committee, and then we will have a meeting to discuss how we approach the situation that same very week, because they are professionals now, all of them, which is really good. They work in the industry that they are serving as, so they are highly skilled, highly experienced professionals, and because everyone has their separate job, we have to come together to discuss what is the best strategy. So the intervention is done in a very timely fashion, if that's your concern.
And of course, things like suicide will be immediately, we come together immediately. So if it's a situation where a mentee discloses to the mentor and the mentor, calls or flags it to Celeste or myself, it will be, let's say it's a child abuse at home or, as you said, suicide, that will be immediately flagged and we will immediately meet to know in terms of where we're going, if it's a referral to TTPS or if it's an intervention needed for, as you said, suicide hotline, and who do we refer to.
Does that figure out the form? You put up the form?
Which form?
The mentor
The registration.
The registration form.
Okay.
Because
you really invest the query this thing.
because
That's okay.
This is important.
Yes. You ask away.
Because I don't want the government calling me just say, wait now, they had these people on the program and then we see them in the headlines here now some child disappeared. Not me. I'm not going there. We have to be and the people who are listening, involved with you all, should understand that this is a part of, public for transparency for the public, and that you all operating above board.
Yes.
This is part for the course. So I'm not trying to be, so I'm not trying to be Sherlock Holmes here. I'm just and show off here, right? I'm just trying to, because there are people who listening would think too as well. They want to get everything clear in their mind so that once they sign that form, they know what they're getting into.
What I would say too, this is, it's not meant to be an isolated effort. Our slogan is, it takes a village to raise a child. So we are in constant communication with the school, the teachers, if it is our guidance counselor in the school, then the parents. So we try to have a tight community of support to support this child through their journey. So, we try to pull on as many resources as possible to support this one child. And they are also evaluated before the program and after the program to track progress that would have been made for them.
Because remember, now is not like long time. We live in a different time now, right? And it sounds good, yes, village raising a child is true, but there are some predators in the village as well, and we have to be very, very careful. You know what I mean? And King's Trust International and ProMan and all of these are reputable organizations and institutions, so we want to thank them for even wanting to be a part of this and doing this. Now, you all mentioned the schools. Could you name again the schools that you all, for those who listening, the schools that you all
the 8
engaged
schools
in?
we partner with currently is Mount Hope Secondary School, Goodwood Secondary School in Tobago, Sawan North Secondary School, Russell Lassapi Secondary School, Cedrus Secondary School, Toko Secondary School, Shagona South Secondary School, and Mukarapo West Secondary School. And we also engage with the police youth clubs. We get some referees from there as well.
So, any chance it will be extended to deeper south?
One of the schools, police youth clubs, sorry, that we partner with is Whiteland. So we're trying to do that extension with deeper south as well as Tobago. So Roxborough we are partnering with in Tobago, and with St. Joseph Police Youth Club. We do in terms of a lot of work in terms of our engagements at St. Joseph Police Youth Club. So we wanted them to come on board to of course get a taste of the Me Too mentorship.
Yeah, I've been with the counter trafficking unit as well. We visited a lot of schools. Penal, Siparia, Panaseco. You know, it's nice to meet these youngsters and hear their plans for the future. Now,
I haven't found the form, but I'm just scrolling through the page on Facebook, and you can visit the Volunteer Center of Trinidad and Tobago on Facebook, and they have a section called Mentor Spotlight. So they have a lot of photos and little blurbs from the mentors.
Right.
A lot of young people, you know.
Yeah, we have a lot. We have some pictures to show them as well here.
From a diverse range of industries. There's one lady is a pastry chef, somebody's a clerk, somebody's a mediator, men and women, a mechanical engineer, business development officer. You know, a range, and a lot of young people. These are not retirees, as you were saying earlier.
No, but if there's any mentor listening who would like to tell of their experience too, we would gladly speak with them too as well this morning.
We would love to hear from you.
But so I decide I've heard enough and I want to be a mentor. What do I do from there?
Get the form either by sending a WhatsApp or getting it from Facebook or Instagram.
Will you call the number again, please?
Yes, the number is 753-7628.
Right, 753
7628.
Right.
Then you will receive an email inviting you to schedule an interview. So this is the first screening.
Right.
After that, the team will review all the interview responses, right? The interview responses are recorded. The team reviews it. Then you are approved at that stage, not fully approved.
How long does approval take?
Approval would be in January. So we are bringing on 90 youths, right, for the next cycle, which means we need to bring on 90 and more mentors, because there's always some people realize coming down to the end that they can't do it, etc.
Right.
So to do 90 interviews, it takes a little while. So we would have started at the beginning of December, and the goal is to finish it by the end of December, right? First week in January, absolute latest. So that's our timeline.
So I call this number, get the form, fill out all the
Fill it
questions, and then wait for a phone call.
You wait for an email.
And
you schedule your interview. You are interviewed. Then you will receive feedback in January by about the second week,
right,
as to if you
selected.
pass that stage.
Right.
Then, other than that, contingent upon becoming a mentor, you have to attend mentor training.
Right. Slow down. Get slow. Yeah, something goes so far.
Yeah.
Right. So we get the email and said, Mr. Sinclair, we've done all our background checks. We've done everything on you, and realized that you'll be a good mentor. Right. So could you come in now? You have because you have to meet somebody in person, right?
No, not in person, online. For now. So the first stages are online. So the interview process is online. In terms of getting that training is online. The matching part is not online. We're gonna have in-person matching.
Right, before we reach to that.
Yes.
So okay, because all you must see if I have legs and if I could move around and if I'm good looking or how right, them kind of thing.
If
right.
You have
so
legs, I'm sure they encourage a variety of
we do.
diverse
I know, I'm just saying. So how to peer me and who to peer me with, right? Right. So all the work in me and right? So we get the email, and so you do everything online first.
Everything is done online
first,
up to the matching, the in-person matching.
Right.
So because remember, online we are getting everything. We are getting that form. You have to put your resume. You have to put your place of work. you have to put references. You have to put your interests.
CFC,
I am pretty sure we ask everything,
Right.
right? You
You're
have
very
to,
thorough.
Very thorough. You
Right.
have to submit a police certificate of character. You have to attend mentor training. After that, we can say, okay, you are now in the clear. We can look at you, evaluate your profile, and match you with a mentee.
And this is why you see term, Natasha, because if, let's say we have a mentee that's from the disabled community, then it will be easily paired with someone
Yes.
who has that experience
Yes,
as well.
yes,
So that's
yes.
why,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't mean to sound, you know.
No, but it's a valid point because we have that. We have. I
There you go.
interviewed someone recently who is a cancer survivor, and so we get a lot of diverse experiences.
We even had a mentee who was dyslexic, and we had a
Yeah.
mentor whose daughter was dyslexic.
There you go.
And we were able to pair them because of,
That's why I asked that
Yeah.
question, right?
Perfect,
So, okay, so the online part is done. Then what I'm asked to do after that? Come in to meet a committee or team?
Right. So after you are fully evaluated, you come in and you are matched. This is a in-person session that we have.
Right.
Now you might be wondering why we don't have more in-person. It's because the schools are from every area, including Tobago,
Toco
and
and
our
Cedros.
mentors. So logistically, a lot of it, a good portion of it is done online just because of the logistics. However, we do make sure to have our in-person sessions, right? So
Termly.
We're in the in-person meeting me is in Port of Spain, San Fernando. Where's that point where I'm asked to come?
Right, so those in-person sessions which happens once termly are held either at St. Joseph Police Youth Club that we've been using very often, or a
Right.
community centre within in terms of a kind of central meeting location. For
Right.
Tobago, we also bring, or we have in terms of that resource to bring students as well as their parents from Tobago to engage. But in this cycle, we want to either go to Tobago, go to Tobago and have some interactions with the school and the parents.
But regardless of the meeting point, we provide transport from so if it is Toco, our meeting point for the last place was Toco Secondary. If you are from Toco and you're coming to the event, meet at Toco and you have transport. So that's why I say the logistics is a lot, but it's priority first because our mentees respond the best to in-person interactions. Yeah.
Are you clear in your head, Natasha, and those of you listening,
Yes,
are you
I
clear in
am,
your
I
head that
am.
this is something that...
And I also share the form, the link to the form in the
you.
chat
Yes.
on Facebook. I'm not sure if it will come up as a link on YouTube, but definitely it's on Facebook. The number is there. The link to the form is there, so if you're interested, you can please check it out.
Right,
And
so-
also, we would like any mentors or former mentors, if you're listening, to call in
drop a
and
line
share.
or call us and tell us you were part of this program
Yeah.
and what your experience was.
All mentees.
So I'm in Port of Spain. Who do I meet with when I'm called in? The CEO, the head person in charge of the volunteer
We are
center?
all events.
Uh-huh.
Myself, the program coordinator, Samantha, the program lead, representatives from the steering committee. We all come out. We all are present.
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Right. So and so we meet at a location to be decided then.
For the students and the parents, they meet at a central location based on where they live. So for Toco, as she said, will be Toco Secondary School, and then along the route as well. For persons that say Russellata P, Sawa North, Mokorapa West, it might be in Port of Spain by HDC, then they go along the route until, of course, where the meeting point is. So once it's along the route as well, we pick up parents as well as students. We have that transport provided to and from in terms of in-person events.
You all have a bus, or you have to hire maxis and all of these things?
So there are two things we do. We partner with PTSC, or we have our ongoing, or want to have our ongoing partnership with them because they said we can actually use, because it's an NGO, they have some special rates that they give. And we also partner with, I can't remember the travel company right now who have those maxi services. And he does in terms of other work with NGOs. So he has a maxi service that he provides transport for our students.
Okay. All right. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Samantha and Celeste. So Samantha, you're the program coordinator
And program lead.
and program lead. right? And we are grilling them here this morning on the volunteer center,
I
which
had
is
another question about the mentors. Given the fact that they are volunteering their time to mentor these children, what is the commitment that is required from them in terms of time, energy, commitment, like how many hours,
Yeah.
you know?
So that's a great word because it's at the top, commitments. Now we offer the option. It's a 1-year engagement.
Right.
You have the option to choose once a week to meet with your mentee online for 1 hour, 1 day a week, or you can choose once every 2 weeks to meet online once 1 hour with your mentee. We just ask whatever you choose, please stick to it because children respond a lot to routine. That's how you build their trust. So we ask for you to have a good look at your schedule and then make a commitment. Right? So that is
So that's 1 hour per week for a year.
Yes, we do take a break for coinciding with school holidays because everybody needs a chance to regroup and refresh and then during school holidays we also do a lot of check-ins with the mentors, make sure everyone is good, do a bit of training so that we could start back the new school term fresh.
No. One of our past guests asked a question, and they would like to know, in her circumstances as a blind person or visually impaired person, a person would they fit in or fit the criteria to become a mentor?
What I would say, as these sessions are primarily online, mentors have to have the facility to use online means. So if she has that support that somebody can assist her with logging on to the session online, that would be, I think, the main logistical thing that comes to mind. But other than that, everybody is valuable. Everybody has something to say, to share, to give back, and that is what the interaction is about. It's about talking to somebody who can support you, who can guide you. So my main concern in that area would just be the tech side of it. But if she has that support, by all means, sure.
Okay.
So of course, I mean, and blind people actually tend to be more comfortable with the technology than sighted
Excellent.
people.
That's good.
So your any disability shouldn't be a barrier to you once you can access the technology to engage.
So so you got your mentors, and now it's time for them to meet their mentees. How is that done?
Right, so that is the mentor-mentee matching process, and then as I said, there are termly in-person engagements. So the mentor-mentee matching we'll have in terms of course, mentees, and their parents brought to the location, where in terms of it's the community center, St. Joseph Police Youth Club, mentors come in terms of on their own, with their own transportation, steering committees there as well, and we have in that matching, it's facilitated, so of course you have a bit more about what the mentorship program is as well there, or reinforcement of what the mentorship program is, and then we want to, for this in-person mentee matching, it's kind of like not a mixer, what's the one that we're trying to do, so it's like a mixer facilitated by in terms of interest areas. We have a bit of games, we look at in terms of that speed mentoring, that's what we want to envision it like speed, getting in terms of persons interested, getting them to rotate around in terms of the teams as well, so we could see who, of course, based on our interview process as well as needs assessment, who matches with who, and that interaction, and overseeing that interaction with the young persons and the adult mentor.
Okay, so I'm still trying to formulate this. So you have 20 mentors. Do they meet all in the same place at the same time, or you separate them according to their geographical location? You say, well, 5 will meet in South and 5 will meet in Port of Spain, or 10. You bring all of them together? At the same location?
For those in-person engagements,
and you introduce them to the parents and the children.
Yes.
And the matching process now, is how you all go about that?
So
now?
I'll talk a bit about that. So we have the in-person session where you meet the person you've been matched with, but prior to that, myself and someone from Safegarden, has a look at it. It, again, is a rigorous process because we have to go through the full mentor profile, the full mentee profile, and determine who will make a good match. We look at different areas. Now, some mentees might have different needs in terms of the issues they are facing. So that's priority, matching the mentees who, I mean, I don't like saying at risk, but who are more vulnerable
Yes.
with mentors who are suitably qualified. That's the first.
I mean, you'll understand why I asked the question, right?
Yeah,
Because people would want to know, how if my child has a disability or
Yes.
my child has,
Yes.
let's say, low self-esteem or
Yes,
whatever.
yeah.
How, do I look for someone, a mentor who is very outspoken and outgoing?
We look at
and-
all of that.
Yeah.
We look at
Okay.
the personalities. So after we deal with who's the most high risk, then we might look at interest, because somebody with a similar interest to you might be able to support you in terms of career guidance. So we
Right.
know the school dropouts is a big issue. So that support is provided. So we look, or if I am a mentee and I express I have an interest in entrepreneurship, we will match you with somebody who has their business for that kind of guidance. So it's done from the evaluating who is at risk, and then we move on to looking at interests. We have a look at personality types, who, depending on your profile, who you might respond best to, because some males they do not want to talk to a female. And so we would look at that and we will match you with one of our males. So all of these things are taken into account.
Well, I mean, that is interesting, because I was gonna ask later on, what is the ratio of male to female mentors,
Right.
and also mentees, because
So
what is
that's
the ratio?
That's a really good question. So in our last two cycles, so cycle 2 as well as last year cycle 3, when we looked at the statistics, we had more males being referred to our program than females.
Yes.
One school actually sent a full male list.
In terms of mentees, yeah.
Right.
And then when we looked at in terms of our capacity for
Yes.
mentors, we had more female
females,
mentors.
yes.
So some of them had to be matched once they were comfortable, and of course looking at their interest areas, etc. And I mean the matchings were well.
It was successful, it was very good.
Yeah. But they had to be matched because of the limited male mentors that we had, and we had an appeal the other day from our curriculum specialist who went on TV. For males, we need, in terms of our male mentors, to come on board,
Yes,
be
yes,
involved.
yes.
And the male mentors that we had were really strong as well.
Very,
They were,
very strong.
Yeah, they were
But
really good.
even if you are not initially matched with a male, the purpose for the many to one format is that even if your mentor who you meet with weekly
One-to-one.
is not a male, you still have opportunities to talk with other males. So
Yeah.
the mentor might say, well, I think the youth, he wants to talk about X, Y, and Z, and then we could put him on to another mentor. So our mentors are in that headspace that even though I am matched with somebody, I am here to provide my support to everybody, because we want as many, as I said, everyone brings their value to the table. So we want our youths to benefit as much as possible from everyone's value.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are speaking with Samantha and Celeste from the Volunteer Center, and they are getting grilled here this morning because we want you to have a clear understanding of what this is all about. And apart from the interaction, because I want to ask a question about the interaction when everything is settled and everybody's placed in their with their mentor and mentee, that interaction with them online. Of course, it will be arranged around their schedule. Is that interaction monitored, or you just leave the mentor and mentee to speak to each other?
Well, the first part, just in terms of it's based on their schedules, it's based on both the mentee as well as the mentor schedule.
Right.
So they have to come to that agreement, because as I say, we don't want to impose, just like we can't force a child to be on the program. We have to, of course, get their inputs. Some of them are engaged in terms of extracurricular activities, lessons, etc., as well as mentors. So we want to, of course, bring that agreement first. Once they can meet at that particular time, both schedules. Schedules.
Right. So I'm a mentor.
Right.
I want to meet with my mentee this afternoon at 5. What do I do?
So I will let you know. We have 4 meeting slots you can choose from. The reason for that is because the mentees and mentors are not allowed to have contact.
Right.
It has to be streamlined, where the program coordinator, myself,
Oh,
can
so
facilitate the sessions, right?
Right.
So I am on call, I'm on the phone, I'm calling this one. Why didn't come on your session today?
Right. So you let them know that these are the times we have available.
As well as their
Right.
their schedule.
Because it has to be facilitated or guided or monitored.
Right. So I'm saying I'm the mentor now, and I will choose a time and a day that you suggested.
And the students as well.
How do I do that now? How do I go about
It's
doing
so
that?
on the form, you log it on the form, but the days and times right now we have Wednesday, which is our weekday. You can choose 6 to 7 or 7 to 8.
Right.
And then we have Saturday. You can choose 9 to 10 or 10 to 11.
Right.
So again, commitment, availability is a big thing. Before you commit to be a mentor, make sure you are available at the time slots that this program
This
is.
is not a simple thing. You'll have a lot of work. You'll have a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Because I'm now thinking, because I'm now thinking, okay, I am available to this time, but the mentee not available. And then the mentee available at this time, but I not available.
So we also
facilitate,
screen our mentees.
Yeah.
So the mentors give us their info. The mentees give us, so the mentees also let us know what day and time, and you are matched with somebody who is available the same day and time.
Right.
Well. So that is
So I choose the
covered.
time and day, and I say, okay, today's the day. I call you first and say, okay, I'm on today with mentee. Hook us up.
Who's paired.
I
She
would
would already know who's paired with who and
Right,
what time they're supposed to meet.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's an
How does it happen?
online link. We
You send
keep
the link
it-
to them?
No, they have it. So
Oh,
this
they have
is
the link.
I am there to support, but I cannot call every single person. Some people, it is a independent process.
Right.
They have the link, they click, they log on. The session is recorded because I
Right.
cannot be 15
every
places at
Good.
once.
That is my
The
question.
session is recorded
Okay.
and is screened after the interaction. And if possible, once I get through all my calls, once everybody is on and set, I will kind of do a silent drop in into the interactions. But it's recorded and saved so that we have our database. If somebody says so and so, a parent calls, so and so happened in my session, it's recorded. That is a must. If somebody is not recording their sessions, I am very sorry. We are going to have to, you might have, we'll have a discussion, how come you didn't record your session? But if we realize you are never recording your
Yeah, of
session
course.
purposefully, I'm very sorry.
So you leave it up to them to record the session. You can't do it.
No, it is the feature we have.
Yeah.
It records instantly, but
But you
people
won't.
find
Yes.
ways around things. If we realize somebody is moving
That's
in
a
a
red flag for me.
shady
Yes,
way,
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Because if we tell you once, okay, I forgot, but you did it again, and you did it again, well, put a sticky on top of your computer and say record session.
Yeah.
Then, no, sorry, we have to part ways. That's how it works.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So it's set to record as soon as the session starts. But sometimes on these platforms, you could stop recording. No, that is not going to work for us. Like, we need to know you're recording the entire thing. And so
Right.
it's screened after to ensure that.
And we use a lot of technology as well as, WhatsApp groups. So once you choose in terms of a date, a time, etc., both mentee and mentor, we have in terms of groups, separate groups. Again, we're not in terms of allowing that cross communication with mentees, mentors. So there are separate groups of mentees, which are the students and their parents, and a separate group for our mentors. And we manage those groups in terms of, reminder messages when your session is coming up, if you're having technical difficulties, because our steering committee also involves our IT lead. So he's also on board and in those in terms of group chats to navigate if we need assistance concerns with any technological issues that we're having. Yeah.
You all are doing great. I mean, I know you all didn't expect this, but we have to be up and up here with people in Trinidad and Tobago right now, and with regard to young people especially. This is not a game. We have reached a time in the world now where there are predators out there looking for low-hanging fruits.
Yes.
Right?
But Garth, can we have them address potential mentors out there like yourself, because clearly you want to get involved in this
No,
program.
because I was going to ask the next question, can I be a mentor? Because here what? I remember I was in the military, but I grew up, in a dysfunctional environment, so to speak. I went to the military, I was introduced to drugs. I started using drugs in the military. I was discharged for that reason. I went to prison. Now here I am today.
Yeah.
Would I be a good mentor? Or would you all say, nah, he was in prison and he was on cocaine?
Well,
we can't
I
trust him.
mean, once you pass the screening process,
Mhm.
aside from that, I think that makes you very relatable to what
Yeah.
our youths are facing.
Yeah.
Some of the things we hear from these youths that they face, it's not nice, right? It really is vulnerable, at-risk youths, and sometimes they need to talk to somebody who can relate, who has been there, who has gotten out. So if you have a story to share, sure, but just you need to pass that interview
Of course,
process
of
and the
course, yeah.
screening, and once you
Yeah.
pass, sure.
I'm a presidential pardon. I can get a clean police certificate, a good character. now.
Wonderful.
I know you're concerned about that.
That's the part I was concerned about.
I knew it.
But for anybody else who like Garth might be unsure or think they're underqualified or unqualified for this first role as mentor, what would you say to them?
Right, so I would say don't disqualify yourself. Yes, educational background helps. However, we more look for a positive influence. Don't underestimate the power. It is proven that just by being a listening ear for somebody, you can help them, you can lower the risk for them of depression, of drugs, just by being a listening ear. Sometimes you're going through something at home, and just having someone you can trust to come and say certain things to in a confidential space. Now remember, we do intervene if need be, but sometimes just getting that weight off your shoulders helps. So don't ever underestimate the impact you can have by doing that. You are supported, so we train mentors, and it's a continuous training. So I would say once you want to give back something, you have the availability, you can commit. You like dealing with youths, because youths, some of them come with their own problems, their uniqueness, how youths are. You have to be able to roll with that. But once you like that, sure, come, let us do a screening process. Let's see what you have to offer, and
So you all expect a form to be completed by Garth Sinclair in time to come.
And I just want to add too.
I look forward to it.
Oh, all right, yes. I volunteered here for the last 24 years ago.
Oh
we don't get paid to do this. Okay. So this is volunteer work we do
it's
here
great work
for the
that you all
last.
do.
I'm serious. And then people call us to do lectures.
Yeah.
They'll call me to do lecture, and Natasha started calling me and say, "Look, we're not getting paid to do it, but it keeps me sharp. That every time I have to face an audience.
Yeah.
But I'm the free show lecture king. Plenty lectures I've done for nothing. And I'm talking about from Matlock to Penal,
You're doing
back
the
to
Lord's
Port of
work.
Spain. Yeah, but I should go by Massey today and tell him, I'm doing the Lord's work. I need some groceries.
What if that would work?
Let's take a break. When we return, we have some images to show you all from the Meet We program, and right. So let's show off what these ladies have a chance to breathe a little bit, because they've had questions fired at them one after the other. And once again, if you are a mentor or a mentee and you're listening, please give us a call in a while to tell us what was your experience like, or if you think you want to be part of this program. Yes, Natasha?
Yes.
All right, so let's go to that break. We'll be back.
My name is Evans. and my story is an altar story. I retired from my job in 2022. I decided to get another job, but in asking a friend to learn how to use a computer, I realized I could not read properly. Now that I am taking the altar class, I have learned how to read a lot better by breaking up my words into syllables. The tutors make sure you understand everything before moving on. Beyond my altar class, I would like to teach my grandchildren how to read. I would also like to travel one day, and I know when traveling there are forms to fill out, and altar teaching will help me with that. My name is Evans, and my story is an altar story.
The Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service Hotline 800 PRSN. It's a toll-free number that anyone can call to report any misconduct or illegal activities within the prison service. All calls are strictly confidential and would remain anonymous. Simply dial 800 PRSN. That's 800-7776. Leave a message and our team of highly trained professionals will treat with your report in a timely manner, promoting security, integrity, public safety, and confidentiality.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Dobson here from HMP London. Can I speak to Mr. James, please?
This is Mr. James speaking.
Thank you. Can you hold the line? I have a call coming through to you, sir.
Sure.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, yes, Brian?
Daddy, I'm just calling to tell you that locked up in the UK for drug trafficking.
Oh, yeah? You lock up? And you tell me I was going to Tobago? And I tell you about them boy I was liming with? Well, all right. Don't drop the soap. Carry on.
Eye on Dependency. Reality radio at its best every Sunday on I 95.5 FM. Don't miss it.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency, and we are learning all about the Me to We Mentorship Programme. And we are schooling a lot of people, including Garth, because Rosemary on YouTube says she is really enlightened. She never knew about the Volunteer Center. She wishes these young ladies all the best. They're very brilliant and confident in what they offer, and she is really educated. So we are reaching people today with this new information about the Volunteer Center and about this Me to We Mentorship Program and what it entails. It's, as we have heard for this morning, it is a rigorous, intensive, well-organized, structured program.
Yes, man.
That is benefiting young people across Trinidad and Tobago.
But before we go to the pictures that you all will tell us what we see in one by one, is there at the top of your head, and I'm putting you on the spot again, about a success story that you all can share with the public?
Yeah, I mean, there are many success stories in terms of persons overcoming adversity, social issues, even when you talk about in terms of both parents as well as our mentees, because parents are also integral. We try to encourage, of course, parents to come to the session, in-person sessions. We want to run in terms of this cycle to our parents in seminar, looking at those areas, but the parents as well as the students grow together. One of the success stories we have with Russell Atterby School, actually, a young man, some time ago, it was also on the news where about 3 young persons were killed by the police. They were running away from the Deco Martin area, and he was in the car actually. He was wounded very badly, and Russell Atterby actually referred him to our program. He was on the verge or the cusp of being involved in gang violence. And he saw his peers killed in front of him. He was angry with the police, angry with society, and wanted to go that route. And he was paired with one of our mentors who's also on our steering committee team, Kelvin Paulson. He's actually the manager of Children Life Fund, one of the managers there, and he's the youth specialist for our steering committee. And Kelvin and Malachi worked together for about a year and a half, so we brought him back, and they did lovely work and pulled him from seeing his life as part of the gang, not having any hope that, live fast, die young, and taking him from that mentality to now he is doing very well. He's in trade school, he was in Serval, he was recognized and highlighted at King's Trust international level, and also received an award, a certificate from King's Trust for the work and how he's overcome a number of things that he has gone through. That's just one of many that we have.
Okay, but on the other hand, did you ever receive a call from a mentor saying, I can't handle this fella, nah? I done. I can't deal with this. I thought I was able to do this, but did you ever run into that situation where somebody thought it would have been easy,
I think,
but then...
Yeah, so I would say not every match is a perfect match. How we try to combat that is the first month at least of matches as it's new, we are very receptive to feedback. So there was one incident for the last cycle. I remember the mentor reached out to me and she said, the mentee, he's really not responding. She has tried everything. So he was matched. She actually said, I think he would work better with a male. And so we looked into it. We matched him with a male and he blossomed, right? So no, it's no fault of the mentor, no shortcoming with the mentor, because she was also rematched and her mentee, opened up and blossomed. So sometimes it's just about finding the right connection to bring out that side of you. So how we combat that, because as I said, not every match is a perfect match. The system does work to a large extent, but we are very open to feedback. Particularly in the first month of matches, we do rematching when necessary, and we also guide the mentors in terms of how to get the mentees to open up, because it's not always an intuitive thing. Sometimes to get someone to open up, you have to, one, be consistent, you have to earn their trust, you have to ask the right questions, so it is very hands-on. That's what I would say, very hands-on.
I can imagine. When it's actually, where any studies ever done, and these probably you could answer, any studies ever done as to why a young male will feel would not want to be mentored by a female?
He doesn't see women as persons in authority in his life, perhaps. He's mistrustful of women, or he only has female figures of authority in his life. And he wants and craves more than likely a male figure of authority in his life.
Because if I want to talk basketball, or if I want to, you have...
But there are women who could do that, right?
I know, but there are those who...
No, but I think it's more likely the latter, that he probably only has female authority figures in his life and wants a male.
You ever had a male mentee ended up in any arm of the protective service?
Not so far when we looked at.
Not in the last cycle.
Yeah, not in our last year. Yeah.
All right, so let's go through those pictures now. Let's see some of the pictures.
About 9 images to show, so we'll put them up and you'll just tell us what it's about. You can see it there.
Oh, this is our Toko Secondary. We did a volunteerism day at Toko Secondary School.
Toko in the house.
Yeah, where we and listen, Toko Secondary School. They're big up Toko Secondary School. They're vibrant. Damian Legaton, the dean. He actually was awarded our school liaison of the year for cycle 3.
Very supportive.
He is. All teachers are very supportive and principals, but Toko So we had a volunteer day at Toko Secondary School where we repainted 10 classroom block with 10 classrooms. So this photo here is the police officers of the Mounted and Canine Branch who came to assist us with the painting and gave up their time actually. Okay. That is ASP, Woman ASP Renee Bain Keller, ASP Charles Suklal Singh and their team from Mounted and Canine Branch.
Well done, people.
Nice. Go to the next one.
So that's Toko.
Toko Secondary, yeah.
So we're taking a tour here now.
This is Toko as well, so some of the students painting. Those are some of our mentees, students.
Mentees,
Yeah,
okay.
from and it's not
Mukarapo.
Mokarapo. Who again there?
These are mentees,
These three
yeah?
of them are from Mukarapo.
Mapo. All right, 3 of them are from Mokarapo. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, next one.
Next image. And if you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we'll have Samantha and Celeste describe what we're looking at. What are we looking at here now?
I'm not seeing that
So
one.
I'm seeing
It's a construction. It looks like
a mentor. This is the same
chemical
Toco.
kind of
Same
yes.
Yeah,
Toko
most are Toco.
refurbishing. I'm seeing the
I
mentors
know.
and
If you could turn
mentees.
this, yeah, a little bit so they could see.
Oh, thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Yeah.
These
Right.
are the
Oh,
mentors and mentees working together to paint
This
the
is the
classroom.
window,
That was the main activity that day.
Right. Where was this?
Toco,
Same
Toco
secondary.
again. Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, next one, short man, please.
This is one of our in-person sessions. So this is actually a mentor and a mentee that we matched. He
A male
was
and female.
a male and female.
The guy in the red shirt is a mentee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Students of Mokarapo West Secondary School. Very
Right.
good as well. His background, what he wants to do is communications, public speaking.
Okay.
And he was matched to a communication specialist, actually. He was recognized by Proman this year and a part of Proman's foundation end of year celebrations as well as recap for Me Too We Mentorship.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Nice.
they were a very strong pair.
What we have
Next
here now?
one.
So this is another one of our very strong pairs again. So on my left would be a mentor and a mentee, and they developed a very close bond. The mentee actually told us at the beginning she did not want to talk. She was kind of like, why am I here? And this mentor was able to bring so much out of her to support her in her goals, to help her build her confidence. So much so that now, to me, this is a success story.
Yes.
But a success for this mentee was graduating from school.
Yes.
And so much so that she insisted the mentor would be present. And so we had, again, another rigorous process to facilitate that in this particular circumstance, because we realized that
Hold
it
on,
would
short
mean a
man. Go
lot
back to the
to the
go back to
mentee.
Yeah, because there's another young man and right. There's
And before we move on to the young man, Claire was recognized by King's Trust this year for her work. So we have an article out on Claire and her mentor. Her mentor's name is escaping me now. Shardell Ford.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that is out. On the other side, we have Persons of Demand with one of our male mentees
yeah.
at a psychosocial, either psychosocial or the personal building development session.
Yeah. So they're just doing an activity.
Um,
just
drama. Demand. I will get back. Let me
They,
watch my.
they address social issues
through
drama.
drama. But the
Okay.
name
So-
stands for something. So
Okay.
let me tell you.
Okay.
But we could go on while I look for that.
All right,
Yeah,
next
sure.
slide, please.
Next
sir.
one, short man.
Right, this here.
Yep, this is an in-person event. They are engaging in a activity, team building.
This
So
is at
we
a
have
youth
a
club?
lot of this is at the St. Joseph Youth Club.
St. Joseph Youth Club.
So as
okay.
you can see, we have a lot of mentees. They actually like to get out the house and come and meet new friends and meet their mentor in
Right.
person. So it's a nice way for them to get out a bit and do something new.
Yes.
The MAD stands for Drama Making a Difference Company, and it's an NGO that promotes social change through drama.
Oh,
so we
wonderful.
use
Excellent.
them in some of our engagements.
Cool, cool. Next one, short man. I don't know how many we reached. Right.
So this
Right,
is
we have someone here at the
our
podium.
mentee. He gave a speech this is our closing ceremony where we recognize mentors and mentees. We do certificates. We recognize teachers. A nice, our final
graduation,
session. And
quote unquote.
he gave a speech. This is the same mentee actually who was interested in the PR. So
Yes.
he had the opportunity to deliver the speech
Nice.
at the session. And then the other picture is another event, an
Yeah.
activity they would have
Activity.
done.
And what
Volunteering
is
ABC,
volunteering?
A to
yeah.
Z.
yeah. And what it means to them.
Was this ever in the news? I've never seen anything, and I look at news every evening.
He does. Witness.
I've never seen this. And this kind of thing should be in the news. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. So we are getting
all inviting
there.
me, yeah?
We have an aggressive social media campaign
Yeah,
for 2026.
every time we do this, we improve. And one of the areas we wanted to improve this round is definitely our PR. So we onboarded a professional to support the marketing and public relations. So you're gonna see a lot more of us. We are gonna be in your face.
Yes, please, because this is good work here.
And
What are we looking
this
at
is
here?
our success story highlighted Malachi Glenn. He is receiving a certificate at our end of year from Kingstrut International. That is Tia Douglas. She is affiliated to Kingstrut. She's the program coordinator who works with Sadel Ramkisoon, and that is his sister or his mom. I think it's his sister.
I think that's his sister,
yeah, who is accompanying him for
So
that.
this is the young man from Russell Otterby.
Yep. Yeah. I'm all grown up.
Wow.
Nice. Next one, short man. I think there's one more. I
Right.
think this is the last one.
And this is our steering committee team. So these are the faces. In the white, we have Giselle Mendez, our founder for Volunteer Center. We see Celeste. We have, I'm not seeing Celeste. Atia. Brittany Gonzalez, who's our risk management, as well as a former mentor, and she's big in terms of PricewaterhouseCoopers, etc., and things that she does. We have Latoya, admin for safeguarding. Averia, she is our admin for our steering committee. Myself,
in the back row now, to my right, we have
Sadel Ramkisoon,
IT,
Randall Howe,
Irma
is our safeguarding specialist, Marcus, our social work liaison, and Kelvin Paulson, our youth specialist.
You haven't seen Sadel in a while.
I know, he looks very different.
Since he left the British High Commission,
No.
we haven't had any
Glad to see
interaction
he's
with him,
still
but
involved.
he's still active. and-
Man.
Right, so
incredibly
ladies,
supportive.
Yeah.
you all did excellent here this morning, despite the grilling. But again, we needed people to be clear that this was because I'm sure there are people who hearing about this for the first time. I'm sure there are people who didn't know that this existed. And it is nice to know that you all, from looking at the pictures, you're doing great work. Yeah, did you all ever receive, the foundation ever receive a national award?
I know there are some awards they receive, but not a national. Not that Volunteer Center has, of course, received some accolades and certain things that they do. But I'm not too sure if Me2Be specifically. No, not that I know.
Because, you hear government say from time to time that NGOs help make the job easy. And it should be recognized for the work that you all doing too. It's wonderful. And I want to thank you all very much for sitting with us here this morning
and representing very well.
Representing very well. Who put all in the fire line? Tell them.
Samantha reached out to us,
that's
so she asked for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Samantha walk right into this.
That's okay.
No, that's fine, because I think your audience who values these things would be a strong audience to be mentors if they are so invested and interested in these details.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for.
Well, let's see if you're right. We can take some calls and find out from the people out there if you are interested in being part, or the ladies represent well, or if you just have words of encouragement, give us a call at 622-3937. We've been speaking with Samantha and Celeste. And would you like to be a mentor? Mr. Pinal, I want to recommend you to be a mentor.
God.
My good friend and admirer. Yes, Mr. Pinal. Yeah, we call the radio program from time to time every day, and I heard him up to this morning. So that's, it'd be nice if you could volunteer to be a mentor, Mr. Pinal. What do you think? So anybody out there? So in the meantime, again, can you share the contact information for people who would like to
the WhatsApp number, if you are interested in learning more, you can reach them on WhatsApp, which is, the number is 753-7628. You can also follow the Volunteer Center of Trinidad and Tobago on Facebook or on Instagram. And on Facebook, there is a link where you can find the registration form for mentors.
Right, and before we do that, Shortman, go to video J, please, because this is the time of the year that people, and I saw a new trend now, well, not a new trend, but it's something that's ongoing, where young people getting together at a party, they push somebody's head back, open their mouth, and pouring alcohol down their throat. And
usually punching.
Listen, you all need to stop doing that. There's a thing called alcohol poisoning, and you give your kidneys too much alcohol to process, you can die. You all need to stop doing that. Again, we ask you to speak with your children. That's all you can do, but you cannot force them. So let's go to this video quickly. Video J.
This is basically an explainer video as to what are the effects of alcohol, not just on your body, but on your brain.
On your brain.
And of course, this goes double for anybody under the age of 25.
Ever wondered what really goes on in your head when you have a few drinks? We're not just talking about a hangover here. Today, we're diving deep into how alcohol seriously messes with your mental health and brain, and why it's way more serious than you might think. Let's get into it. So you think a few drinks just make you fire, right? Think again. Even one heavy night out can totally throw your brain off its game. Alcohol literally disrupts your brain's messengers, neurotransmitters, slowing down your reaction time, clouding your judgment, and seriously messing with your balance, memory, and even how you speak. And let's talk about blackouts. This isn't just forgetting what happened. Your brain, for a period, literally cannot form new memories. You wake up and poof, a chunk of your night is just gone. Pretty terrifying, right? Now, let's get real about mental health. If alcohol is your go-to for stress or social anxiety, thinking it's your quick escape, I'm here to tell you it's actually doing the opposite in the long run. In fact, alcohol often makes anxiety and depression worse, or can even trigger their development. Research actually shows that alcohol use and depressive disorders feed into each other. It might feel like a fix in the moment, but it often just deepens mental health struggles. And here's the really scary part. It boosts the risk of suicidal thoughts. This isn't something to take lightly. Okay, so that's the short term. But what happens when you drink heavily for months or even years? Your brain starts to adapt to accommodate all that alcohol. And guess what? That leads to physical dependence, intense cravings, and nasty withdrawal symptoms when you try to stop. Ever heard of wet brain? It's a real thing, also known as Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. It's basically brain damage from being chronically low on thiamine, a crucial vitamin. This can lead to confusion, coordination issues, and permanent memory loss. Yes, permanent. And there's more long-term damage, brain shrinkage, and loss of gray and white matter. This impacts everything from your decision-making abilities to your self-control. Seriously, it's messing with the core of who you are. Let's talk about binge drinking. Ever had 5 or 6 drinks in just a couple of hours? That's binge territory, and even one night of that can trigger serious heart issues, irregular heartbeats, or worse, alcohol poisoning. This isn't just about feeling rough the next day, and it's a huge factor in things like unplanned sex, assault, horrific accidents, and even long-lasting mental health trauma. Here's something groundbreaking. Scientists are now saying alcohol can actually prime your brain for addiction, even to other substances. It literally switches your brain from its normal decision-making mode to a habit mode, making it easier to spiral into other addictions. Add in all the mental health stuff we just talked about, and you've got a perfect storm for patterns that are incredibly tough to break. Alcohol use disorder isn't just a buzzword. It's a diagnosed brain condition tied to repeated drinking despite serious consequences. It's not a moral failing, it's a health issue. You might be watching this thinking, could this be me? If you're wondering, alcohol use disorder is diagnosed when you show 2 or more symptoms within 12 months. Things like uncontrollable drinking, intense cravings, or alcohol causing negative impacts on your life. But here's the good news. Recovery looks different for everyone, and help is available. You can try therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, motivational interviewing, or incredible group support like AA. Some people also find success with medications like naltrexone, acamprosate, or disulfiram, which can help reduce cravings or make drinking unpleasant. So why bother making a change? Even ditching alcohol for just a few weeks can totally transform your life. You'll experience boosted mental clarity, lower anxiety, improved mood, better sleep, healthier liver function. And yes, your wallet will thank you too. And here's a really crucial point. No level of alcohol is truly risk-free. Recent research links even moderate drinking to 6 major cancer types, everything from liver to breast cancer. It's not just about heavy drinking anymore. If any of this struck a chord today, please let it sink in. Whether you want to curb your drinking or go completely sober, science overwhelmingly backs the benefits.
There you go.
There you
And
go.
I want to say to the families out there who have a family member who just came out of rehab, alcohol should not be given to them. They should not be drinking alcohol at all. It's a very tricky time between now and carnival time. People just came out of rehab. It's a very, very testing time for them because this is when alcohol is flowing freely. You know, people paint, while people painting, they're drinking. They don't wait for friends to come, the lime start, you know. It's during the preparation and cleaning up and all of that and music playing in the background and somebody break out a bottle and that's it. And of course, you just came out of rehab, you want to help while people drinking alcohol around you. Be mindful, be careful that you're not one of the boys any longer or girls any longer. You are different and you cannot take that first drink. Otherwise, before Christmas is over, you'll be back in rehab or back on the streets. Keep that in mind. And for those of you who go into these supermarkets and car parks, where the car parks ram cram with people.
Yes, listen to this one.
So I went, pulled in the car park in the west, and when I tried to lock the vehicle with the remote, nothing happened. It wasn't responding at all. Now, just like that, I said, well, something wrong here. So I tried the touch, nothing. No response. But then when I looked around me now I remember hearing about this. So when I looked around, there was a guy standing in front of me as the crow flies about 25 meters away. And one behind me, not what looking at me, and you know, sometimes you hear somebody complaining, but why just not opening somebody who right next to him and say, what's going on there, partner? He said
need
nothing.
some help? Yeah.
He was just standing, staring away from me. I said, well, no, something wrong here. So I tried again. Listen, it was almost like the battery was dead in the car. So I went back in the car and I started it. I said, but the car started comfortably. What's going on here? And the guy said to me, go upstairs in the drugstore, buy a new battery. You need a battery for your remote. I said, oh, this battery changed just a couple months ago. It can't run on so quick. But the way he looked at me and the way he volunteered that information. Now, once I got up to that drugstore and went inside, I'd have been out of sight from them.
Correct.
People, that's the plan. They are immobilizing your remote. So when you come out of your vehicle and you press that, you listen. Even you have to test the door handle for yourself.
To make sure it's locked.
To make sure it's locked, do that. Because I got lost in that vehicle yesterday. Easy. If I just turn my back and go on about my business, they were either going to go with the contents of the vehicle or go with the vehicle itself. Because if they could disengage or disable your remote, then they can start your vehicle for themselves.
Absolutely.
Please be careful out there. Please pay attention. Keep your wits about you. There are people out there who want to relieve you of your items, just as you are enthusiastic of buying it.
Yep. And it's important to be I mean, we always say this to people, but especially if you're in an area where it appears to be crowded, that is when you need to be on your guard most.
And I had to tell the police officer, I said, look, keep your eye on those guys, because when I drove out of the car park and pulled aside, I said, let me try this again. Remote working perfectly. Up to this perfect.
So whatever
no
device they have is interrupting the signal between the fob
it's jamming the signal of your remote
and the vehicle.
Yes. So keep your wits about you, people. All right. So before we wrap up, any we could take a couple calls if you wish to call us and tell us what you heard here this morning. If you're impressed, Samantha, we give you and Celeste give you a chance to give your closing remarks.
All right. You want to start with the calls or you want us to close one time?
In the meantime, yeah, while you're waiting.
What I want to say is to make an appeal to, Trinidad and Tobago and our both young persons as adults to, come on board, volunteer, give back in a positive way. We need it. The nation needs some healing. It is, in terms of this program, a youth development program. It is restorative, all of those in terms of nice words, and really make a difference in someone's life. I mean, volunteers and mentors, and I'm sure Celeste could attest to this, have shaped us in terms of our journey. So, come back, give back, and really help a young person navigate life challenges and their own personal challenges. Celeste?
So, a lot of our mentors tell me that the reason they mentor is because they want to be that guiding voice that they did not have. So, I would encourage anybody who, if you have benefited from a mentor, if you have not benefited from a mentor, to come on board, to guide a youth. They are our future, and it might seem like something small, just coming on to listen and chat with and guide, but that we have seen that make such a huge difference specifically in their lives. And that one child that you make a difference in their life, they can make a difference in the world. So I am really asking people who you're a positive influence, you have experience, to come on board and join us for the 1 year journey of supporting a youth who is in currently vulnerable circumstances.
Yeah. And taking the village from me to we. And,
Correct.
Right.
Embodying
Yes.
that, yeah.
And a number, if they want to call the number, could you share that number again?
It is 753-7628.
753
7628.
All right. So, it's been an interesting morning, very interesting conversation. Mentorship doesn't require perfection. It requires presence, consistency, and care.
Correct.
Yes, I love that.
And if
Perfect
today's
closing.
conversation spoke to you, this might be your sign to step forward. Wink, wink, Mr. God.
Our thanks. Our thanks to Samantha Griffith and Celeste Ferreira from the Me to We Mentorship Programme.
You've been
And
listening
thank
to
you.
Ion Dependency. Please join us again next Sunday, same time, same place.
Yes, and as the year comes to a close, we wanna hear from you next Sunday, please God, and we hope to have some very special guests with us. If not, we just spend the Sunday with you, and just to send your Christmas greetings, and we thank these ladies for coming, and to those of you at the Volunteer Center and the Me to We Mentorship Program. Keep up the good work. We need good people right now in Trinidad and Tobago. We need a lot of good people.
And we need the good people to step up as
to
well.
step
right?
up. Yeah,
We do.
And do what you can.
we need them. We need them. It's sad that some of the stories that we're hearing, but then there's good also in our country. There are good people out there who are willing to support and help, and we are willing to engage with you. So thank you very much for being with us here this morning. Tamika, thank you very much for staying with us, and we'll be here again next week, God willing. All right, so you all take care. Have a great week, and see you back here on Sunday.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you.